say hi, handshakes, hugs,
Yeah. Whatever is appropriate.
As long
Is
as,
this just a very... Okay, cool.
I mean, as long as you're not like using.
What's up?
Yes. Hello.
Like-
That is not appropriate. That was an example of what's
No,
not
but I mean, like
appropriate.
even things where people are like, "Hey, dude," like.
Yeah.
I mean, I specifically identify as female, so fuck you. No, I mean, I can't say that on a video for a class.
Eye contact, firm handshakes.
When someone like does something like, oh, he raped them, like that just makes me so uncomfortable. But that's more the language of the fan.
I don't like it when I hear them like anybody, but of course this culture call someone like a faggot or a pussy or use gay or queer as a derogatory term. And I also don't like it when, say, I'm walking and I hear them like hitting on women and women don't always appreciate it, don't usually appreciate it.
But that's the thing, though. That's not football culture. That's patriarch. That's the patriarch.
But that's very much implemented in the athletic plus.
No, but I think that's the thing, though. I hate that they're making this a football thing. It's not. The basketball players do the same thing.
This is a football thing.
But it's not.
Oh yeah, no.
So you're saying basketball
Yes.
players don't do this? You don't have like random guys that are sitting in front of the library doing this? No, they do the exact same thing.
You're right.
I feel like I'm also a little biased because my dad was a football player.
Yeah, my dad was also in like football. He was not in the time where they would have proper equipment. So he had many brain damage done to him. He would have multiple concussions. And what do the coaches say? Fucking, excuse me. They would say, go back out there, man. Be a man. Like, I hate the fact that they don't, like, it's like, it's like, I'm really hurting. Like, they can't exactly, most of the time, express their emotions, perhaps, or the fact that they're in a big amount of pain.
We could also talk about like football players or athletes in general,
Yeah,
groups of
athletes
athletes, and I think that's also a problem when you have
Exactly.
too many dudes who are like hyper masculine, who feel overly, overly macho. And so I did boxing, and one of the things that they would say, it's pretty similar, is you call somebody a pussy, a fag, you call them, you call them a woman, to motivate them to be something good. And so I don't appreciate those forms of subjugation.
Physical actions with the coach will make me uncomfortable for other players, so to say.
We're a pretty accepting group, so as long as you're not like purposely being offensive towards another group, we're pretty good, easy to talk to.
Pretty much the same. Like you don't have to hide who you are, unless of course hate speech is a part of that, or prejudice.
Oh, but we're willing to let you grow and teach you that maybe you shouldn't be hateful.
I also like a safe setting, like what we're talking about. You're able to express whatever questions you might have, what we talked about in the panel. I like the fact that if there's a personal question, if you don't necessarily know the person quite well, you should ask for permission to ask certain things, perhaps, that are personal, if you want to ask them, and ask them in a certain way, if that makes any sense. That's, yeah. In a respectful way.
Football?
Football.
Hand gestures,
Yeah. And gestures and stimulus.
communicating, yelling, that's just about it.
I think they think we're hateful and angry and bitter. Yeah.
I am a feminist, and so I don't really go around saying this, especially in like circles with a lot of people who are self-proclaimed athletes, because first off, they'll just assume that I'm gay and then put me down for that. They'll start saying other things. They'll assume that I'm not really a feminist, or they will start to say I'm only doing it just to get with women, or that I'm trying to then be feminine, and that's like my goal in life or something. Or does that mean I'm secretly transgender or something? I don't expect good things.
They question you. They're like, oh, really? Well, do you know about this, or do you know about this? And I was just like, I'd be like, okay, yes, or no, or whatever. Yeah, and then they do perceive you as gay, or hating men, or just people in general, very, very hateful, or very liberal in a bad way.
You get everything handed to us easy.
We spoil you and we dumb jocks. We don't know nothing. That's
I'm a feminist because I guess I enjoy fighting for equality for everyone. I think a big misconception is that we only fight for rights for women, but that's not the case. Like, I fight for equality for everyone: race, class, sex, gender, able body. The list goes on. Yeah.
I believe in equality. I'm just gonna start there. I believe in intersectionality, and that everyone has like a different, comes from a different background and has these privilege and disprivileges, and that we need to see that and give that into, we need to have that into consideration. I just believe in equality, and that we have a long way to go to get there in terms of, it's basically, everyone needs it right now.
I became a feminist because I started recognizing that people treat you differently for a number of reasons, whether it's going to be your race or your sexuality, perceived status markers, and of course your gender. And so in understanding that people treat me differently because I'm a man, and unfortunately my mom, my female friends, my girlfriend, and they are going to continue to experience discrimination in a number of ways. So there's going to be sexual harassment, there's going to be intimidation, there's going to be assumptions about intelligence or ability based on sex, sex or gender. And so I think it's really important to acknowledge that and try to be an ally to people who have typically been marginalized or treated differently, or taught to be subordinate.
how you belong to a culture.
That's what we do, man. It's self-explanatory.
I was made for it. I was made to play football.
Been playing since I was 6.